The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised. Good afternoon. Here in Los Angeles, it's good afternoon. But hello to everybody around the world and around the country. Welcome to In the Booth with the Poetess. Well, today we're at the table. And on this episode, we're going to discuss something that's considered sometimes taboo and some people shy away from it. But today we are going to get right into it. Hot flashes and all, the change of life, menopause. And in the studio with us is the beautiful Denise Pines. She is the president of the Medical Board of California and founder of the New Wise Pause Lifestyle Summit, which launches in LA this Saturday, September 21st, and in Atlanta and in October. So please welcome the beautiful Denise Pines.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is wonderful. And
thank you.
In my own backyard. I don't live very far from the studio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice and convenient.
Nice and convenient. Yes.
Well, I was, browsing the internet the other day, and I came across the article of you in EUR Web.
Oh, yes.
And I said, you know what, this is really a good topic because I don't see a lot of it. Mm-mm. I don't see a lot of discussion on menopause and the change of life, as they say it. Mm-mm. So I thought, because I'm approaching that age group and that change of life, I thought it would be a good conversation to have for women that are happen to be going through. Is it perimenopause? Is that how you pronounce it?
So yeah, perimenopause is before menopause.
And menopause. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're going to discuss today. Mm-hmm. And so, what is the difference between the menopause and perimenopause?
I'm so glad you asked because it's confusing language. So that's also part of it. I wish I could change the word. I said I want to rebrand menopause and give it a new name.
Yeah.
But until I actually come up with a really great name for it, we'll deal with what we have to deal with. So menopause is really simple. It just simply means that you have gone 12 consecutive months without your menstrual cycle. That's what menopause is. Mm-hmm. What perimenopause is the years leading up to that point, whereas the body is decreasing in various hormones, so not just your estrogen, but your progesterone, sometimes your testosterone, we start having fluctuations in getting things like hot flashes and night sweats. Some women might experience low libido. Some women get tender breasts. Some women will start to see their hair thinning. Mm-hmm. Their eyebrows may be thinning a little bit more, right? You might start to see weight gain around the center of your body. And you may still be eating the same amount of food, but you're like, why? I'm still eating the same that I've been, but I'm now gaining the weight here. Your skin gets a little softer. We're starting to our muscle decreases. So those are the things that start happening leading up to menopause.
Now, what age range does menopause start to begin? Because I know some women started as early as their 30s and 40s. So
well,
what
doctors
age
are
range?
actually now seeing much earlier signs. They're now starting to see signs of women in their 20s.
Wow.
But they can help those women in their 20s because it tends to be a lot of environmental impact on them. Mm-hmm. So now what we're seeing is the average age historically has been 42. That's sort of the beginning of the signs, the night sweats, the things like that. But now we're starting to sort of see that average age move to 38. So we're seeing women who are 38 having, it kind of starts off with like night sweats. And then you might only have it for like a week, and then maybe a whole year you don't have anything. And then they'll come back, or you might start getting the the hot flashes during the day. You might start seeing like your hair is thinning and you're like, what's going on? I put too much perm on it or too many chemicals or whatever you're doing, or dyeing, because then our hair is starting to turn gray right around that time too. So, those are the age range. So 38, 42 is the average. But what's happening is with Black women, it's lasting longer and we're having more intense symptoms. Right?
Why is that?
So they haven't, because there was a big study that was done, and that's what they saw as correlations, but they didn't go to study Black women. Mm-hmm. It was just what they noticed, is that Black women had them longer, more severely. Correlations they sort of saw was a little less educated. They found that with women. They found these women to be have high anxiety, high stress, and depressed. So a lot of
environmental factors.
So what I really saw more is that Black women, we are more stressed. And as a result of our being stressed, we are not able to handle the fluctuations of the hormone. So really, none of us should be having any symptoms. Mm-hmm. We have something called our adrenal glands, which is our backup hormones. So what happens when we go into this, so let's say we're 42, we start going into the menopausal years, we should not even have any adverse experiences. What should happen is our adrenal glands are our backup, right? God planned it the right way. It's our backup. But what happens is we stress out our adrenals in our 20s and 30s. So when we get to our 40s, they are totally burned out.
Oh, wow.
So they can't kick in. So
is there any way to replenish that? I mean,
you can
to correct
replenish
that?
it. You can begin with your nutrition, really. Mm-hmm. You can begin to exercise and start stimulating your cells. Mm-hmm. So there are things that we can do to start to repair our adrenal glands so that they can carry us actually to the rest of our life, right?
Okay, yes. Now, you mentioned nutrition. Is there a particular type of food or diet that can relieve some of the symptoms, like the hot flashes, the night sweats?
So I tell every woman who is 40 plus, you've got to get your vitamin D checked. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times when we find ourselves really tired a lot, we are deficient in vitamin D. And for some reason, African Americans, we get that deficiency a lot. And I'm not really sure because, we're outside people. Like we can take in the sun because we have melanin. Mm-hmm. But for some reason we are, and it could be that we're too much inside when we're people that need to be outside.
Okay.
So the first thing is
get some sunshine.
Get some sunshine. Yep, get some sunshine. Not drink milk, but get some sunshine. Then having vitamin E, which we can get from like almonds and broccoli and things like that. Vitamin D, water, vitamin D, vitamin Bs is also helpful. And vitamin E. So vitamin D, vitamin E, and water-soluble vitamin B. Those are the kind, and get them naturally, as much naturally as you possibly can, and then taking supplements. Okay. Right? But those are the things. So that's found in spinach and in nuts. It's found in broccoli. It's found in sweet potatoes. It's found in turnips, kale, things like that.
Okay, so diet's very important.
Diet is very important
for this stage. How does menopause affect a woman's sex life?
It can affect it a lot. I think it's one of the things, the reason why I'm doing the tour is, I might talk to my girlfriend about my hot flashes and my night sweats, but I'm definitely not telling her that I'm not getting it on in the room, right? Or that I'm leaking when I laugh or whatever, right? I'm not sharing those things. So because I'm not sharing, I'm not learning either, because it may be happening to you and you figured that out. So those things we're going to talk about on this tour. We're going to talk about incontinence. We're going to talk about sexual drive and what causes that and things that we can do. So there are pelvic exercises we can start to do that starts to stimulate it. So that saying they would say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So when it comes to our vagina, that is actually true. If you've gone 10 years and haven't had sex, your vagina has atrophied.
Wow.
Right? And that causes low libido.
You hear that, ladies?
It means that it's not doing this. Right? So if you're not doing Kegel exercises or some other kind of pelvic thrusts.
What about masturbation?
Masturbation will stimulate it, absolutely. So if you're not doing anything, and you meet someone and, you know, get into a relationship, you're going to have probably sex pain, and you're not going to want to have sex anymore.
Wow.
And KY jelly is not going to cut it. You actually have to use silicone, which is more lubricant and easy to slide in and out than what KY is.
Well, what can you do for natural moistness? Because that's one thing I hear about a lot about menopause is that you have dryness.
Yes, that's what it is. So the vaginal wall starts.
But
to
as long as you're
atrophy.
working it, you can
as long
keep
as
your
you
juices.
you can keep your masturbating helps to keep your juices. So the vaginal on the inside is supposed to be red.
Okay.
When a woman has vaginal atrophy, it's white.
Oh, wow.
It means it's dried up.
Ladies, you got to use it. I mean, even if
you got to use it or you're going to lose it.
You better use your vagina.
Right. And so we have two women who are going to talk to us on Saturday.
Okay.
One's going to come from a sex therapist standpoint, and the other one's coming from using Tantra yoga. Mm-hmm. So Tantra yoga helps us get outside of our head. A lot of times we have in our head our sexuality from either like our religion, how we grew up in religion norms, or we may how it was in our house. Maybe our parents weren't very loving with each other in front of us, so we didn't see a lot of affection. Mm-hmm. Or maybe some of our early experiences with men weren't really great, so we kind of had this, and this kind of experience that we have still carried on 20 years, 30 years later. And so Tantra helps you get from here with your sexual experience to down here where we actually experience the sex. Mm-hmm. So how do we take our minds from here, start coming down and channeling and stimulating the vibration here to have that experience? And it's really, really powerful. I've done a couple Tantra yoga experiences with my girlfriends. And if those who have men, they usually say, the guys are like, Denise, I don't know what you did to her, but can you do it again? That was the best sex we had ever.
Wow.
That's what Tantra can do.
Now, you can do this also with your partner, right?
Yeah, you could do Tantra with your partner. I suggest people do it first separately, so that you can start to tap into your own sexuality without someone else needing to be your partner in your own self-stimulation, and then bring your partner in.
So the Tantric Sex helps libido.
Yes.
And dryness.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. That's better than having to take some.
It's better than having to. So then there's other things. We're going to have Dr. Gail Jackson, who's wonderful. She is just an amazing doctor here, gynecologist, and she's going to talk about what she does for women who have vaginal atrophy. How it's called PRP, so it's platelet-rich plasma. So taking your own blood, then what they do is they spin it to pull out all the platelets, and then they re-inject that into your vagina. Wow. And what it does is it stimulates new growth of cells in the vagina.
So what is this called?
This is called PRP. That's the easy way to remember it. PRP. Platelet-rich plasma.
And what are the side effects of that, if any?
There are very few side effects because it's your own blood.
Okay.
Right? So they're not taking someone else's blood. They're taking your blood, and then they are putting it through a process where they pull out the concentration of the platelets. Then they put that back into your body and stimulate the area. They are now doing it for your hair. It started off being done for your joints. So for people like a lot of ball players, when they injure their knees, any of their joints, they get PRP put inside their joint, and it's like a growth stimulant, but it's natural and it's yours.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with that. So that's
the reason why.
Rejuvenates.
That's the reason why for the event, because there are all these things.
Now, what would the reason be to do this? To rejuvenate your vagina?
Yeah. Yeah,
because they
so
have all
that's
these.
the re-stimulate.
They have now. It's the thing, like sort of a boutique thing where you go with your girlfriends and they're doing this whole vagina rejuvenation thing. Is that or because they have this thing where you sit on a pot and there's these herbs and it's just so many things.
It's just so many things. I would go to because I'm the president of the Medical Board of California. Everybody's certified.
Okay.
So everybody you're going to see sitting on that stage is safe.
Okay.
I can't speak to anything, any of these other treatments, not to say that those treatments don't work, but we always want to make sure whoever we're going to is board certified.
Okay.
So if you're a naturopath, you're board certified. If you are a doctor, you're board certified. And that way you know that there's been a set of criteria that you had to go through to get there. Right? At minimum. And that doesn't mean that all the doctors are great who have even been board certified, but that's just to me a baseline. So everybody that's going to be at our event, they're all certified.
Well, let's talk about your event. It's this Saturday.
It's this Saturday. It starts at 8 in the morning. You get breakfast, you get lunch, and I'll give you a code and we can have a couple of the folks that are listening to us be able to attend compliments.
Okay.
Of you guys.
That? And if you guys have questions right now, because we are live, you can call 323-293-3375 to ask Denise Pines some questions about the event or any questions that you might have about menopause.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting ready to go into that stage because I've been having the hot flashes and they're the most annoying thing. Is that the most common symptom? Or?
It is. 75 to 80% of women all in the U.S. have hot flashes. So it's a lot.
I want to ask, is there any chance that women go through life without menopause, like without the symptoms, I should say?
Yes, there are women, it's a small percentage, but there are women who absolutely go straight. They don't have perimenopausal symptoms. They have menopause because that's just the end, right? So they'll have menopause. Every woman in the entire world is going to go through menopause, period, end of story. And that, again, is just 12 consecutive months of no menstrual cycle, and then you're in menopause. That's all that means.
Okay.
But not every single woman is going to have hot flashes. I have friends who have never had a hot flash, but they got vaginal atrophy. I got friends who never had a hot flash, but their hair is falling out. I got friends who never had a hot flash, but they got tender boobs. Right?
I think I'll take the hot flashes. For 200.
For 200, I'll take the hot flashes. Right? So you get. I have friends who don't have hot flashes, but they get night sweats.
What's the difference?
The difference is that they're the same in their experience, but it happens at different times. So hot flashes, you can have hot flashes and night sweats, but there are some women who only get night sweats. So meaning that they wake up in the middle of the night and they're soaking wet. And if you have a husband or a partner, a lot of times you kind of disrupt them because you're on with the covers, off with the covers, cranking open the window in the middle of winter. You got the fan going. You got all this stuff, and guys feel so helpless because they love you, and yet they can't help you. But they want to know what can they do. And part of I think what men can do is just simply understand that a woman is going through this. That she's not crazy, because sometimes the other thing I didn't talk about is our emotionals
the mood swings.
Will have the mood swings. Like one day I love you, the next day I can't stand your guts, and there's nothing you did, right? It could be just one little thing that you always do, but for some reason today, like that annoys me, right? And then tomorrow I'm like, oh honey, how are you? And you're like, oh my God, she's crazy, right? That's where that kind of she's crazy comes from. So there's that connection between our hormones and our brain. So we have a doctor who's going to talk about the hormones in the brain, how we can balance that, right?
Okay. Hormonal therapy versus natural remedies.
So I don't really talk a lot about hormone replacement therapy. So hormone replacement therapy is synthetic. So if you've taken it, it's not a naturally occurring thing in your body. It is, manufactured, and it mimics what hormones do. but it works for a lot of women. But there have been studies that have correlated it to breast cancer increase.
Right.
So it's one of the reasons why a lot of women decide not to do that. Then there's bioidentical hormones. And those are plant derivative hormones that mimic mimic the structure of a hormone. And those are natural because they're derived from a plant. So there are a lot of doctors who will prescribe bioidenticals over hormone replacement therapy, synthetics.
Now you have hot flash tea.
I do.
I've been reading on some of the herbs that are supposed to help the hot flashes. Like, what is it? Botox. What is it?
Black cohosh, wild yam,
cohosh, quang, whatever. I can't get it. I'm just getting in all this. But there's a few herbs that
there are a few herbs. The ones that consistently have demonstrated that they work, and because they also they are they're plants, and they also mimic estrogen and the format of estrogen, and so those are wild yam and black cohosh. So in our tea, hot flash tea, we have those, but our real secret formula is the actual tea. What we did is we figured out how to get to tea to a particular level where it actually impacts the hot flashes. So one of the things that science has discovered, that for some reason when estrogen starts to decline, there is an enzyme in our brain that rapidly increases. And that rapid increase hits the hypothalamus, which is our control center to our body. It's what sends the messages, hey, we're okay, hey, we're okay. But then we have this decrease. We've got this increase up here that's throwing everything off, and it sends off a spark in our body because it's confused. And that's where the hot flash comes from.
Because I asked a few ladies if they had a question for you, and one people say, when you're having hot flashes, does it mean your body temperature is actually rising? Because it feels internal instead of external. Like when you're outside, oh, it's hot, but it feels like it's coming from the inside.
No, it actually, the body feels like the temperature is lowering. It just feels like the temperature is imbalanced. And so the body is reacting fast. And that's why it feels like it happens like this. Because the body's like, oh my God, we have a temperature off. Right? And it just reacts that fast.
Wow. Now the hot flash tea, where is that available?
You can go to hotflashtea.com. Tea Botanics is the name of the company. So Tea Botanics, which is TEA botanics.com, or hotflashtea.com is easier to find. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at hotflashtea.com.
And that's your product? Oh, good.
So with a doctor. So a doctor and I, we worked together. Studied it for 2 years, studied the property, met with all organic farmers, tested the farms of the farmers that we go with. We test every harvest every time because if we're going to say it's organic, it's got to be organic. Okay.
And now, how long does it take to take effect? Because I noticed that some of the reviews and stuff I've read, not about the hot flash tea, but about some of the herbal supplements, is that it may take 2 weeks to start kicking in. It may take several months. Like, how long does it take to start taking effect? It really depends on every woman's body. So, a lot of women, including myself, we have toxins in our bodies. So if you have a lot of toxins in your body, it's going to take at least 30 to 60 days for anything to start working. If you don't have a lot of toxins in your body, it can be as quick as 7 days. It could be, there's a woman, she was younger though, she was 38, and she took our tea, and in 3 days, she saw relief in her hot flashes. But she was 38, she was younger, she may not have had as many toxins in her body. So when I took the tea came about because I got hot flashes, and I couldn't believe I got hot flashes. My mom didn't get them. I'm a runner. I just didn't expect to get them. But I got them, and I got them pretty severe. I was having them every hour. Oh, wow.
And it felt like you were lighting me up, like you were, right? And I, start working, and it just happened, and I'm just discombobulated, and every hour, And so my doctor is a naturopath. He'll be at Wise Paws. And I called him up and said, oh, my God. I can't believe it happened to me, right? And so he reminded me of this special tea he had given me a year before. He says, take it, Denise. And so what I did is I just logged first. I went to understand what was happening in my body. What was I eating? Was I stressed out before I got one of the hot flashes? Like, what was going on? And then I took the tea. And so 5 days in, they reduced from every hour to about 5 times a day. And then by the 10th day, they reduced down to about 1 a day. And that's when I said, hey, we got to share this with women. If all you have to do is drink some tea to get rid of some hot flashes, then women will drink tea.
Yeah, because
we'll do anything to get rid of hot flashes.
I would rather drink tea than take capsules.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, let's remind the folks where your event is this Saturday.
It's, they can go to wisepausetour.com. So WISEPAUSETOUR.com. And they can see all of the speakers. They can see all of the topics. You get breakfast. You get lunch. It's at Skirball Center off of the 405, Saturday, September 21st. So this weekend from 8 to 6 p.m. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have massage therapists there, acupuncturists there. We're going to have someone doing cryotherapy, which is oxygen, where they put the oxygen on your face and it sort of tightens up all your skin. We have this other woman doing the skin gel thing that tightens up your skin. A lot of natural remedies that most of us just have never heard of or never seen before. And not necessarily all of this stuff is really expensive to do. Mm-hmm. We just have to know that it exists, right? They can do acupuncture and acupressure on your face to get rid of wrinkles. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of natural things you can do. And then we do have a woman who's going to talk about Botox and fillers and things like that. So that's what we have going on this Saturday. So for you all, I'd like to give the first 10 people who really want to go, so don't register if you really don't want to attend. If you use this code, you click the $175 price point, mm-hmm. put in code WP Friend. WP Friend.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might want to attend that.
Okay.
I have a workshop, but I would like to.
Oh, please
so
come.
The demographic
it's going to be life-changing
of women that you encourage to come is
I really encourage. I really would like 30-year-old women to come, and I know they're not, but I would like. We got to start having a conversation with women
early,
younger, so they can get mm-hmm. prepared. Mm-hmm. But really, 40s. Okay. 40s is when you start having those symptoms and you start feeling lost. And because you're 40s, you don't think you're old, so you're definitely not talking to anybody about it. Mm-hmm. And you start suffering. You could suffer for 8 years before you actually start having conversations with friends.
How long do these symptoms 40s, last? I'm just thinking, do they go away?
10 years. On average, 10 years. So you'll find that you have the intensity of hot flashes, and then you'll find that a hot flash will they don't go away, but you don't have them all the time. Maybe mm-hmm. you might have them twice a week.
Okay.
Right? And so you start to go, I can manage that. But still all the other things are happening. Your hair may still continue to thin. Your muscles may continue to atrophy. So we have to start eating way more protein and different foods. We actually have to,
weights,
one of the things no one talks about.
Weight
absolutely.
Exercise, yeah.
Strength training. Mm-hmm. You have to actually, when you get older, do strength training. Okay. You go to the gym, I see a lot of, because I go really early, mm-hmm. and you see a lot of older people because their doctors are telling them, that's how you have to build muscle, right?
Yes.
So the other thing no one ever tells us is that because our body metabolism slow down as we get older, we have to literally eat less food. So I see even my friends eating the same amount of food they ate 10 years ago. You can't eat that. That's why this gets all like this, mm-hmm. because it's only processing 70% of that and then it's throwing the 30% into your fat cells.
Wow.
Right? So we always talk about I'm going to eat that donut, but it's going to go right there. And so you know what? It does go right there. Mm. It literally does go right there.
And I love donuts.
I know. But for women as they get older, the kind of exercise we need to do is they call it HIIT. It's called high intensity interval training. So what it is 20 or 30 minutes and where you're moving nonstop mm-hmm. for 20 or 30 minutes. For older women, it literally starts burning our fat. So going for that stroll, now I'm not knocking anyone to do exercise, period. Everyone has to do something, even if it's just going for a stroll. But if you really want to change your body, if you don't like the gut and you want to change your body, that's what you have to do. Fast workouts.
Okay. Okay, good information. Anything else you would like to add?
What else would I like to add? Getting massages is really good. It helps to re-stimulate the natural rhythm of our body. So getting massages is really, really good. Doing meditation for stress, doing breathing exercises for stress. We have to figure out how to minimize our stress as we get older because our bodies can't handle it. That study, like I said, where Black women are affected the most, is showing us we can't handle stress. We think we can because we do, but we can't because it's reflected in our body.
Yes,
in our body, our mind. Yes, we know we deal with so much, but our body totally can't handle it anymore. So definitely, doing stuff like that, acupuncture, acupressure, exercise, nutrition, all of these are things, and we have to it's a lifestyle change. It's not dieting. And find something you like doing to move your body. Whatever that is, like Zumba, walking, of course, running, swimming, golf, something that gets you to move. Sitting is the new smoking.
Wow. Yep, so get out and move something.
Get out and move.
Okay, and again, where people can get information about your
tour,
Hot Flash Tea, the tour, you.
Okay, so more information on Hot Flash Tea is go to hotflashtea.com, and more information about this weekend's event, wisepausetour.com, WISEPAUSETOUR.com. And again, the free first 10 folks who really want to go, WP Friend. Put it all in caps, and you will come. We are giving you breakfast. We're giving you lunch. You get a beautiful goodie bag, this really cool metallic rose tote. Okay. Ladies, we know we like stuff like that.
Yes, we do. We like
and then this
bags.
little fan.
Woo, I need one
okay,
of
that's what it says. I don't know if they can see it.
I can hear it.
Can you see it?
Oh, you look hot. Okay, I am hot.
And then we're going to give everybody one of these, which is a Wise Pause diary. So it talks about the 4 stages of menopause, and then it lets you in the back start recording your hot flashes so you can keep track of what's going on.
Okay. Well, I'd like to we've been speaking to Denise Pines. Again, she's the president of the Medical Board of California. She's having a great event this weekend. So we want to thank you all for tuning in. And we'll catch you back here next time. Peace.
Thank you.